In this video, we're going to be looking at decimals, fractions, mixed numbers, and improper fractions and how they relate to 1. So we're going to be looking and trying to figure out if things are less than 1 or more than 1 and about where they would fall on a number line. So we're going to use a couple examples throughout this video. They are about strawberries and about hockey players in relationship to one strawberry basket and one hockey team line. And we'll get more into that in just a minute. You will be needing to stop and pause the video and take some notes in your notebooks throughout, and there will be some questions we're going to ask you to solve too. So now would be the time to title and date your notebook. So at the bottom of this slide, you'll see some examples of improper fractions, mixed numbers, decimals, and fractions. This is what they will look like, and there'll be different numbers throughout, but you'll get the gist of it through what we're talking about. So we're going to relate these to the number line. So you'll notice that fractions are always less than 1 because the top number, or the numerator, is smaller than the bottom number, or the denominator. So again, the numerator is smaller than the denominator in fractions, which makes them less than 1. Now, decimal numbers can be bigger or less than 1, or even equal to 1. So you'll notice we have two decimal numbers here, 0.6 and 1.6. Now 0.6, you'll notice that in the ones place there is a 0. Now that automatically makes this number 0.6 less than 1. It's important to remember that 0.6 is the same as 0.60, which is 0.60. That is also less than 1. 1.6, you'll notice there's a 1 in the ones place, and so that makes this equal to or more than 1. So we have 1.6. Now that 0.6 tells us that it goes to the right of the 1 on the number line, and it is greater than 1. Now our mixed numbers contain a whole number and a fraction. So the mixed number 1 and 2/10 basically means we have 1 whole and 2/10 left over, which makes it more than 1. And again, with this next mixed number, we have 1 whole and 9/10 left over, which makes it more than 1 as well. Now your improper fractions can be thought of as division problems. So an improper fraction, the top number, or the numerator, is always bigger than the bottom number, or the denominator. So 3 over 2. Notice 3 is bigger than 2. And if we do 3 divided by 2, that gives us 1.5, which is greater than 1. And again, here's another improper fraction. Think of it as a division problem. 2 divided by 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2, which is also greater than 1. So you'll notice mixed numbers and improper fractions are going to be greater than 1, and fractions are less than 1, and decimals can be less than 1 and greater than 1. Now we'd like you to stop, think, and solve this problem. So you need to draw this number line in your notebook. Sort the fractions, decimals, and improper fractions into less than 1 and more than 1 categories. If you can, as a challenge, try to sort them from smallest to largest. We are now going to look at the berries from a fraction point of view. So again, we're looking at one strawberry basket. There's 10 berries in the basket, which is 10 of 10, or 1 whole. Remember, 10 divided by 10 equals 1. And we'll look at 1 strawberry. So 1 strawberry out of 10 total in the basket is 1/10. So the fraction is 1/10 of the basket, or 1/10 of the whole. So again, that 10/10, or 10 strawberries in the basket, are our whole. And going back to the strawberry bush, we have 52 total berries in the bush divided by 10 baskets. So those 52 berries can be split into baskets of 10, and then we're going to have a couple left over. And so that's where our mixed number comes in. So we have 5 whole baskets, and then 2 of 10 left over for an additional basket. Now we would like for you to stop, think, and do. I want you to look at this example from a blueberry perspective. So you're looking at 1 basket of blueberries as your whole. There's 100 blueberries in the basket, so we filled that one out for you. So 100 over 100 is the whole. Now we would like for you to create an improper fraction and a mixed number based on the berry bush. So the blueberry bush has a total of 502 blueberries. So keep in mind there's 100 blueberries as your whole, and then the bush has 502, so make sure you make your improper fraction a mixed number. And then finally, you're going to take 1 blueberry and you're going to determine a fraction. 1 blueberry out of the 100 total is going to help you make your fraction. Write this in your notebook. Okay, so here's another example of what is 1 using fractions, and this time we're going to use a hockey team, the Minnesota Wild. So we are looking at 1 line of players. There's 5 players per line on the ice. So 1 line of players is our whole. So 5 players out of 5 is going to be the whole. Now we look at 1 player of those 5 on the ice, or 1/5. So Zach Parisi is 1/5 of the team when he's out playing on the ice. And so 1/5 of that line would be the fraction. And finally, of the entire team, we're looking now looking at the players on the bench and the subs. So if there's 26 players on the team, we want to figure out, okay, how many lines could we make with those 26 players? It's 26 players over 5 players per line, and then we can use that to create a mixed number. So if we were to divide 26 divided by 5, remember fractions are the same as division, 26 divided by 5, we would get 5, remainder 1/5. So we can make 5 lines and another 1/5 of an additional line. Here's another problem for you to stop, think, and do. This is with the soccer team. You're going to be looking at the whole, which is 11 players. And so there's 11 players that play on the field on this soccer team at a time. And then you're going to look at the entire team, which consists of 18 players, and use that to create your improper fraction and mixed number. And finally, what is 1 player out of those 11 as your fraction. Now we're going to be looking at how we interpret 1 from a decimal standpoint. So for this example, we're going to look at a basket of strawberries. And you'll notice there are 10 berries in the basket, and this would be the similar basket you buy at the grocery store. We're going to consider this as our 1. So 10 out of 10 berries in the basket, or 1 basket, are our 1, or 1.0 or 1.00. So if we want to look at just 1 strawberry, maybe we're asked to see how many people could have 1 strawberry from the basket or some similar problem to that, we're going to be looking at 1 berry out of the 10 total in the basket, or 1/10 of a basket, or 0.10. Now what if we looked at where the strawberries came from the strawberry bush? We need to figure out how many baskets we can fill with 1 strawberry bush. So there's 52 berries in a bush, and 10 go into each basket, so we'd have to do 52 divided by 10 berries, and you'll think, okay, 52 over 10, that's our fraction. Well, that equals 5.2 as a decimal, which basically means 5 baskets and 2/10 of another basket. Next, we're going to look at the hockey team from the decimal perspective. So we're looking at 1 line, or 5 players per line is going to be our 1.0, or our 1. So 5 players on the ice is our 1. Then we're going to be looking to the entire team. So 26 players, and that 26 over 5 again is our fraction because there's 26 players on the team, 5 players per line. We do our division, 26 divided by 5, we're going to end up with 5 and a remainder of 2/10 of another line. So we'll have 5 whole lines and 2/10 of another line. And our 1 player, he is going to be 1/5 of 1 line. So 1 divided by 5 is 0.2. That's 1/5 of the line.